Oh.
It's another great day for What in the World with Paul Seaburn and his sidekick, John DiNallo. Whether you are listening to our live feed, or streaming this podcast in the near future, I will promise you this: you will smile or snicker as you listen to real news, sometimes weird, with a touch of funny. Those are my words, not Paul's. This podcast is brought to you by Yes I Can Coaching with Karen. So if you're in need of life coaching, who isn't? Check the show notes and contact Karen. It's me. Now it's time to sit back and enjoy What in the World with Paul Seaburn and his sidekick, John DiNallo, who's rooting for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well,
We'll have
the
to
only
learn more
reason
about that.
the only reason that I'm doing that, Karen, is that I'm in the Tampa area right now, and Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had provided some good entertainment for the past couple of weeks, even though they got knocked out of the playoffs. So again, I'm wearing my Tampa Bay Buccaneer gear today.
Good
Oh,
answer.
all right. Are you guys done? Are you guys done with your show here? Are you can I
Oh yeah, wait a minute. Whose show is this anyways? That's
whose
right. I
show
forgot
is
about
Right.
that.
You guys have done a nice job. That was a nice introduction, Karen. Thank you very much. And and it's good to see John in whatever uniform he's in. Hey, it's me, Paul Seaburn, the host of What in the World, everybody's favorite weird news show. As Karen said, real news, sometimes strange, always funny. That's our motto. I am myself, since we're talking about outfits, for those of you who are listening to us rather than watching on YouTube, and we always say, why aren't you watching us on YouTube, either live or sometime in the future? Because we always use photos with our story. But as you heard, John likes to wear some sports outfit. I am wearing today a hooded sweatshirt. Now, why would I be wearing a hooded sweatshirt? I'll give you three choices. A, because I'm cold. B, I'm doing my John Fetterman impression. Or C, I have some Bigfoot stories because it is a Bigfoot sweatshirt. It says
Undefeated.
Bigfoot,
Oh,
undefeated hide and seek champion. So I forget one of my relatives and a listener to the show, both. So I want to thank them for it. I won't mention their names, but so it's all those things. I am doing a John Fetterman impression. I think he's the funniest senator we have, whether you like his party politics or not. And it's cold. We were just talking about this. John said he's in the Tampa area where it's not Tampa weather. Um, it is, I think I just looked now, it's 10 degrees in Cleveland, in Northeast Ohio. Wind chill puts it down to around minus 15 or something like that. When you get that cold, does it really matter? If it's 9 or minus 2, it's cold.
cold is
But
cold.
yeah, Karen. And then this morning, I got from friends of the show. So the regular listeners know our friend down in Houston, Steeler Girl and Tex Chick. Both of them sent us pictures of their yards with 4 to 5 inches of snow in Houston, Texas.
Wow.
Longtime listener, Mark down in Austin, my high school buddy. Austin, Texas, 4 to 5 inches of snow in his backyard. And then, new listener, but also an old friend of mine, Jim, down in New Orleans, sends me a picture of snow in his backyard in New Orleans. Snow covered alligators, snow covered.
That's something you don't see every day.
You
No,
don't, John. You don't. I wish I had a photo. So something's going on. It is cold. So that's why I'm dressed in this outfit. And I hope everybody out there, last week we talked about fires. Thank God we're not talking about those anymore. But boy, it's cold. Stay warm, stay indoors, listen to What in the World. And who's on What in the World? Boy, you got to hear all of them. Karen Hale, our producer, media mogul at newclevelandradio.net. That's our platform. Go visit newclevelandradio.net. You'll see a link to our podcast. You'll see a link to the other great podcasts Karen produces. and some she does herself. Really good podcast, all different kinds. And then if you're interested in coaching, as she said, our sponsor is Yes I Can Coaching, which is Karen as well. So check all that out. Let's see. The other voice you hear and the other ear that you have is my old buddy John DiNallo. Longtime listeners know John and I are college friends and fraternity brothers from college. So we go back a long way as well. John is. He thought he was in the warm climate, but he's not. So
I'm in the Tampa area, folks. And again, I'm featuring the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I have long sleeves on because it's no more than 40 degrees right now, 40. So
Wow.
not what you folks are dealing with up in Northeast Ohio, but man, it is cold for sure.
We were thinking John might have his Ohio State. Well, no, I don't think John owns any Ohio State.
No, I don't, Paul and Karen and audience, for what it's worth.
The national champions as of last night, defeating Notre Dame. Really, good game all the way around. That was in Atlanta, Georgia, if I'm not mistaken, and
yes.
The outdoor photos did not show any snow in Atlanta, so apparently they escaped this winter weather that we're having. But so let's warm up. Let's get the show on the road here. So what are we talking about today? We talked about this last week. I gave some tips on how to get on the show. One of them is, a clear picture of Bigfoot. The other one is set a world record. So last week we talked about world records that you could set using things left over from the holidays. Today, I've got some more world records that you can set with things around your house. So things around your house. So check that out. Also, Bigfoot stories. So we haven't had them in a while. John had mentioned to me that he was going through Bigfoot withdrawal.
That's true, Paul and Karen. Yes. I need to hear about the Bigfoot.
I'll tell you, I don't want to see what that looks like. So, John, we got a couple of Bigfoot stories for you. One, as a matter of fact, you're down in Florida, one in Mansfield, Ohio. So pretty close to where we are. Where coyotes shop. This is a cool story. And tips from an expert on how to chase them out of your store. So we'll be talking about that. Some vehicles that show your taste in food and also may want to hire you. The world's strangest doctor and what he did to earn that title. Let's see. Plus, we got some more odd news. I got some world records. John has an unusual sport this week as well. Before we leave, we play everybody's favorite weird news game, Bluff the Co-host. So let's get started with our first story. As I mentioned, we talked about this last week, and I thought we had a lot of fun. How to get on the show. One of the ways is by setting world records. So last week we had most candy canes stuck in your beard. I can't remember some of the other weird ones. So this week, it's world records you can do in your bed, on your couch, or in a chair. All three things you have at home. Right, John? You have all those things at home, right?
Yes, I do. Just making sure I'm just a right guy, a regular guy. That's right.
Okay, and these will not damage your furniture. So let's see what we've got here. So the bed one, everybody's going to worry that has to do with sex. It does not have to do with sex. That's a different show.
Oh my!
Those porn channels on YouTube, and we'll show you all those records. No, we won't. We don't do that kind of thing. Okay, so first record. Oh, let's see. I need to get our logo up here. While I can still do things with both hands.
There we go.
Tasker, yeah. So I've got to, I got to talk. I got to use my mouse, and so there's our logo. What in the world? I always mention I have a book out. What would you say to a naked space alien if you didn't get it for Christmas? Hey, go. I was going to say go sell some blood. We used to do that with college. I don't think anybody. I think you can sell plasma. So go sell some plasma and buy one. It's on Amazon. I don't care what your politics are. If you don't like the guy that owns Amazon, that's fine. The money doesn't go to him; it goes to me. So
Goes in your pocket. I get it. Right.
there you
Okay.
go. That's right. All right. What would you say to a naked space alien? My favorite alien encounter stories that I picked up over the years working for mysteriousuniverse.org, where I also post a lot of more paranormal stories. Okay, let's go. So first one is for beds. Most people eating breakfast in bed. Now, when I first heard this, I thought, well, this must be in one bed. And I have a king size bed. John, I don't know what kind of size bed you have. I
We
know
have a king size bed also. Yeah, we have a king size also.
that's a personal question, but
Yeah, I'm just giving a fair answer, obviously.
I'm gonna guess that the most people who have ever eaten breakfast in your bed is two. And
That's
if it's
accurate. That is correct.
I was gonna
That's
guess. More, I
that's
want
an
to see the
accurate
video.
assumption there, Paul. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's we, we don't eat in bed, so that's but we don't eat the breakfast in bed, so that's not something that we do around here. But I was thinking for king size bed, I was trying to think, maybe 20 or 30. We have high ceilings in our bedroom, so we could possibly stack people and limit the breakfast to Pop Tarts or something like that. And but then I saw what the record is. The record is 574 people eating breakfast in bed at the same time. So then I had to check it out. And I have a photo here of the people. They're not all in one bed. They're like two to a bed in what looks like a furniture store. Now,
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
yeah. So, John, if we went to a furniture store around here and started eating on the beds, we'd get thrown out immediately. So this is obviously set up. They were doing a charitable thing and fundraiser. And when they were done, but after they set the record, they donated all of the beds to the needy people in whatever area of South Africa this was. So I thought that was a pretty nice thing.
Yeah, that sounds like a good gesture, obviously. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, 500 that's a lot of beds. 574 people.
Yeah, no kidding.
Got to
It
be a
is.
big furniture
Yeah.
store. So not very comfortable looking beds either. But hey, that's the way it goes. Okay, so record number one. You can get on to What in the World if you break that record. Here's one that I know an awful lot of people out there are qualified to potentially break, and that is the world's largest. The world's loudest snoring. I know my lovely wife will attest that I can qualify for that record. I don't know about you, John. I know I'm not going to ask Karen. That's not a nice thing.
No, I'm right. Yeah, no, I'm right in there. I think I could be a competitor.
Easily. I think all of us could. So this is not the world record holder, by the way, the photo that we have up here, but the world record holder the current record holder is Carrie Walkirk of Sweden, who snores at peak levels, according to recording equipment, 93 decibels. That is louder than a power lawnmower, a gasoline powered lawnmower. So that's how loud he snores. Now, I don't think I hit that level, but I don't know if you do, John.
No, I don't think that seems to be really extreme.
That's the kind of at that level, I would think things would start falling from the ceiling, plastic.
Something like that for sure. Oh my.
So yeah, it's as loud as a lawnmower. And the article said that this explains why his poor wife, who has to sleep with this guy, often dreams of having sex with a landscaper. So
wow, what a connection that is. Oh boy.
okay, so loudest snore, that will get you on the show. Here's another one. Now this one requires a little more effort. The fastest time to push your bed for 200 meters. That's 218 yards, which is 2 football fields. So fastest time to push your bed the length of 2 football fields. before I say what the record is, if you can even do that, the Browns are looking for some offensive linemen. And
yeah, you're right about that, Paul. Yeah, that would be those would be candidates. That's right.
that's like
Candidates for the Browns.
the sleds. Yeah, the sleds workouts that we used to have to do when we played football. That's what this sounds like. So, world record for this for pushing a bed 200 to two football fields set in Knaresborough, North Yorkshire in England, by a team of 7. So this was not one person, but a team of 7. 6 people pushing, 1 person riding. The record is 42.22 seconds to push for 6 people to push 1 person on a bed on wheels 2 football fields in length. These guys call themselves the Harriet Harriers because they're from Harriet, which is a local suburb.
Well, that's a sport in England, Paul, right? It's a sport in England?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go figure.
I know. Yeah, I know. I was needless to say, they finished at a pub. That's where they always do it. Here's another view of the race. So this poor guy looks pretty scared. I don't think he's used to. He's got his teddy bear and he still looks scared. So the finish line is at the pub. So there's 7 people. Only 6 of them were allowed to drink because one was the designated driver for pushing.
No, something like that. Okay.
So technically, okay. So here's our last record. So not a bed, not a couch. So what do we have left? A chair. So, and this is not everybody will have an office chair in your house, but I know I have one. John, I think probably has one.
Yes, I do.
So this is something you probably played at work because I know we did this as well. The fastest 100 meters pushing yourself with your feet in an office chair.
Oh,
okay. You know what that's like. So fastest 100.
That's been done by me more than once. That's for sure.
That was a fun thing to do in the office, especially when the boss didn't come in.
Oh, of course.
So, record from Germany. Andre Ortolf from Augsburg, Germany, scooted. That's what the technical term for it. He scooted 100 meters on a 6-wheel swivel chair, 31.9 seconds. 31.
Wow.
I can't run 100 meters that fast.
Wow.
30 seconds. That's awfully fast in a chair. So in an office, he must have really needed the coffee that was at the end. You know.
Wow, that's some kind of skill there.
Yeah, you don't want to get up out of your chair. I was thinking back in the old days, we used to, when we had regular phones that were attached to to a cord, you couldn't do this. You would have to, when talking on the phone. But now people could do this while talking on the phone, moving your way around the office. You never have to stand up. You could just scoot yourself around the office all day. Which is why I couldn't hold a job because I was constantly doing things like that. Okay, so here we go. Regular listeners to our show know that John and I both went to a Catholic grade school, different grade schools, both taught by Ursuline nuns. Those were the standard teachers in our area, and we called them ninja penguins. If you remember,
or other things too. Let's keep that out of here. But yeah.
For a variety of reasons. So, but whether you went to a public or a private school, if you're a baby boomer, you learned cursive writing. The course, it was called penmanship, and you had to sit for hours and hours and hours making circles and crossing T's and all that until you learn how to write cursively. The name comes from what you would say after hours and hours and hours of
that's a good one, Paul.
Yeah, getting cramps in your arm and all that stuff. So this is interesting. The computer, I thought that the computer and cell phones were responsible for the end of cursive writing, but it turns out that the ballpoint pen is credited with ending cursive writing. It's what was I going to say about that? Oh, we'll get to that in a second. So why are we talking about cursive writing in the first place? we like to offer job placement opportunities on What in the World. So the National Archive in Washington is looking for people who can read cursive writing. Now, not just any cursive writing, but historical cursive writing, because
Wow.
cursive goes back a couple hundred years, and a lot of the documents, the early documents for our country, were written in cursive writing. They're losing people who can read these letters and these bills and all kind of stuff. So they're looking for people. They need they said that they consider, and I quote, reading cursive is a superpower. So all of us have superpowers. So I want to star in a movie now, Marvel. Right? Guardians of the Looping Seas, that would be us. So if writing cursive is a superpower, that means that the ballpoint pen is your weapon, and I've got a whole drawer full of weapons. So I can just. I was thinking of the many nuns that we had teaching us this, and I'm sure they're all in heaven, high-fiving each other that cursive writing is still around. So I wanted to see why it was invented, and it turns out it was invented to speed up. Are we getting feedback there,
I was
Karen?
thinking of the many nuns that we had teaching us.
that?
I'm sure they're all in heaven, high-fiving each other. That
Can you guys hear me?
cursive writing is still
You
around.
can't hear me?
We got some kind of feedback going on.
Are you getting? Yeah, we're getting some feedback. Do you hear that?
I don't know where that feedback's coming from.
Let me. Oh, there it's gone. Oh, no, I hear it again. Let me kill my sound and bring it back here just to see if it.
We got some kind of feedback going on.
Yes, we do, and I don't know where it's from.
Okay, I'm back on here. John, say something. So.
Okay, how's that? Can you guys hear me? Can you
Uh,
guys hear me?
oh, there we go. Okay, what was that?
Okay.
That's
All right.
not it.
Oh, that's not.
That
Oh,
better?
okay. I gotta fix my sound here.
think
I
we got it.
apologize to everybody listening here. We'll be back. We'll be working
Paul?
on this in a second here.
Oh, it should be
boy,
fixed.
I shouldn't have done that, huh? Let's see. I wonder if that would work.
I think I got it turned off.
Oh, I didn't want to do that. So you guys can hear me. Wave if you can hear me.
I can hear you fine, Paul.
I
and
can hear
Karen.
you.
Oh boy. Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
All right. So
Yep.
let's. Oh,
Okay,
I
good.
didn't want to do that. All right. Let's try
Okay.
this for a second
I
here.
think I figured it out.
Oh, I see what the problem is. Okay. I see what the problem is. We will. Okay. Can you guys set that now?
I can hear
Oh,
you.
there we go.
I can hear you
Failed to
fine. Yeah,
detect
I
my
can hear you fine.
speaker. Let's see.
Can you hear us?
Should have it now. Check devices. Oh, this is terrible. All right, let's see. Sound, video. Okay. Let's try this one more time here. Okay. So you guys can still hear me.
We can hear you. Can you hear
Turn
us?
up the volume. I don't want to turn up the volume.
Yeah, Paul, I can hear you fine. Can you hear
okay.
me?
Now let's see.
John, can you hear
So
me?
it says
I
that
can hear you, Karen, fine.
you can hear me. I can't hear you guys
He
though.
can't hear us though.
Yeah.
All right, let's this. Wait a minute. Wait.
Now we just
can't-
now we can't
lost
hear him.
you.
Now we lost you, Paul.
He turned his mic off.
There we go.
There you
All
go.
right.
Can you hear
Wow.
us?
So all this high tech
You can hear
stuff.
me okay?
I apologize to everybody listening out there.
right.
We were talking about world records. Oh, then we're talking about cursive writing. That's right. It was invented so that people could write faster. So you link the letters together so you could write faster. And the reason why you needed to write faster is because they were using quill pens. and the pens would run out of ink faster. They'd go out of business, and so you had to get stuff down as fast as you can. So cursive writing, I think, may have, or the ballpoint pen then was invented by a goose who was tired of giving up so many quills.
Oh my.
Decided, you didn't know that, John.
No, really.
Yeah. So so now we're all using computers. So that means that that drawer full of ballpoint pens that you have is never going to go away. You're going to give it to your kids and let them throw it away, or they'll keep
There
it. Who
you go.
knows?
But somebody toss them out.
Yeah.
Right.
Unfortunately, I did. My cousin actually saw the post on Facebook and asked how much the job paid, and it's a voluntary job. But we've got some other jobs coming up in a second here. So here's one in India. So let's get my share back up here. So in India, oh, now how did that happen? That doesn't look right. Let's get rid of that. Where's my boy, I'll tell you what, people, we are just having all kinds of issues here. How does that look? Can you see that,
I can't.
Nope.
Karen?
No.
Nope. Okay, let me stop share again. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Lost my son of a gun. Boy, this is there we are. There's John.
And I can hear you, Paul.
I know I had you on my screen. Now you're gone. What is going on here?
You want to go up to view and do gallery.
What was that, Karen?
Go up to view and click on gallery.
I've lost you guys completely. What I'm trying to do. View. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, there we go. Okay. I've got your back. Let's do a share, and we'll look at that, and we'll look at that.
There we go.
There we go. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after I tell everybody to watch on YouTube, and all of our problems are on YouTube here. So this story comes from India, where farmers in India are so fed up with monkeys eating their crops that they have decided to dress up in bear costumes to scare the monkeys away. So there's a photo of one of these farmers dressed like a bear. Now, I didn't know bears. I didn't know monkeys were afraid of bears. I didn't know that there were even bears in India, for that matter. So this is all news to me. I didn't think bears ate monkeys. I didn't think they ate bananas, but this all fits together somehow. So these farmers have to go out in the field and chase the monkeys away in these bear costumes, and it's working. But it's tedious. But now they're getting paid to do it because a local toilet paper company has hired them to do commercials, for the bears.
Like the Charmin bear.
Who knows? Yeah. The poor farmers, they're so poor that there's only one bear costume, so they have to share it. Yeah. So they share the bear costume, which means that it probably smells like a real bear. And maybe that's what's scaring the monkeys away. But only one bear costume in all of India. I think the local costume department must have pieced this thing together, because it doesn't even look like a bear. No. It looks like the head looks like a wolf. The feet may have come from a Bigfoot, and the body maybe some furry pajamas or.
Hey, Paul, I have to ask. So is the bear effective in what it's supposed to be doing? These people dressed as bears?
Yeah, they said there's no monkeys in that picture, John. So
I'm just curious.
just a weird looking guy in a weird looking bear costume.
Yeah, no kidding.
What this reminds me of, John, is Halloween and the hand-me-down costumes that your young.
Oh yeah, right, sure, yeah. Oh yeah,
John, I know your brother's younger than you. By the time Halloween came around, he probably had a mask from one costume and it
was always a mishmash of something. Sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Anyway, so speaking of Bigfoot, let's get right to some Bigfoot stories. I know John's been waiting, and he's afraid I'm going to lose the sound again before
Yeah,
we get.
please do, because I'm going to go into a withdrawal, and who knows? I mean, it'll be terrible to be with me in the next week or so until the next show. So please, let's get it going here.
Okay, so we got a couple of Bigfoot stories. Everyone who listens to the show knows we talk about Washington State being the place to go if you want to see Bigfoot. But believe it or not, Ohio is a fast rising spot for seeing Bigfoot, and very close to where we're at in Northeast Ohio. Mansfield is one of the places. So we'll talk about that one first. If you want to get on the show, send us some photos. Hopefully they're clear, even if they're blurry. Put yourself in there with a selfie, and we'll put you on the show. So this is in Mansfield, which is I looked it up, 70 miles southwest of where we're at in the Cleveland area. So in an hour and 15 minutes, we could be in the heart of Bigfoot country here, according to Andrew Baum, who works in Mansfield. He was hunting on his father's property, which crosses Interstate 71, the main drag through Ohio. So it's on both sides of Interstate 71. And on December 28th, he was hunting with his stepfather, and he was in the deer stand, 17 foot high. So he's 17 feet off the ground when he believes he saw a Bigfoot, as he says, walking purposely and quickly across an open field about 1,000 feet from where he was at. He says it was taking real long strides. Its head was kind of down, moving down the hill. It had a big head. I lost it when he walked into the tree line. So not only did he see a big foot, but he saw a big head as well. Which, if you play Bigfoot Scrabble at home, that's a double cryptid score, for both of those. Now, I apologize, John. I don't have he didn't take a picture because he was hunting for deer. So he had his gun in one hand and he had his beer in the other. And I'm going to get all the hate mail from from all my friends who are hunters. He didn't have a beer in his hand. He had binos, but he wasn't able to take a picture. However, I took a map. I got a map of the location from the Bigfoot Field Research Organization.
Okay.
Close the Sasquatch was to I-71. So our friends in Ohio, if you're on I-71 going through Mansfield or Ashland, watch both sides of the street, because you could be the next person to see Bigfoot walking purposely with a big head somewhere along the freeway. So let's see, was there anything? So Matthew Moneymaker is the guy who investigated it. We mentioned him on the show plenty of times. He's the founder of the Bigfoot Research Organization, and he said that he believed that this was definitely a Bigfoot, because Bigfoot follows deer trails, and there were deer trails all around here. Although I think this explains why we never find too many Bigfoot footprints in Ohio, because if they're following deer trails and they have bare feet, they don't want to step in deer poop. So they're all walking in the grass, so you never find the footprint. So, what do you think of that story, John? I know I don't have a photo there, but
well, I'll tell you, Paul and Karen, audience, what I find interesting is that you would find a Sasquatch or Bigfoot near an interstate or a well-traveled area, because I think over the past several years, every time that we have a Bigfoot story, it seems to me that the Bigfoot is somewhere out in the woods, somewhere out in a remote area, and it's always one person, no more than two people, that see the Sasquatch or the Bigfoot, right? So this is a departure, I think. And if I had enough motivation, Mansfield is not that far from where I live, but quite frankly, I'm not going to go out there to try to find him. I'm just offering that. I mean,
Okay. You don't have to go that far, because Moneymaker, who the guy who was investigating, he said that there were 3 recently since 2021 that area, and the other 2 were in Ashland, which is north of Mansfield. So that's even closer to Cleveland.
That's correct. That's true. That is true. Now,
Bigfoot made. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, if these people were ambitious, okay, what they would do is they would try to get some kind of video recording device and try to be able to actually film definitively once and for all what a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot really looks like instead of these blurry images. And, I'm a broken record about this because I talk about this as many times as I can. But wouldn't you think law of averages would kind of indicate or would kind of dictate that, okay, here is a definitive video of Sasquatch or Bigfoot or whatever this creature is. It seems astounding to me in this time where everyone has some type of phone or recording device not to be able to do that.
Yeah, there's cable TV shows called Hunting for Bigfoot that have been looking for 10 years, and they still don't have them. They use those connections. So I don't know.
I know it's a conundrum. It really is. I mean,
I get it. And you're right. This is his property, so he should. Now that he's seen one, maybe he'll
come around, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, but I do have some photos in the next story here. So this one comes from upstate New York, which Adirondacks, which is also prime Bigfoot area as well. So this guy, Bill Helms, he's a paranormal investigator. So he's good at looking for this kind of stuff in the Catskill Area Society for Paranormal Education and Research. Who knew there was an organization like that? Yeah. So he says he's walking on his driveway in the Catskill area when he made an unusual discovery. He saw footprints next to his tire tracks and next to his boot print. So the bunch of boot prints and two giant prints measuring 21 inches in length that he said looked more like Bigfoot than boots. Here's another photo here, a little closer there while we're talking here. Based on the distance between the print, he estimated that whatever it was had a gait of 34 inches, so almost a yard, pretty big. Couldn't find any other prints besides that one. Not near a deer trail. This was on the driveway, so maybe the Bigfoot was he was hauling his trash cans in. So maybe Bigfoot eats out of the trash like raccoons do. I don't know. Here's another photo for you, John. Before we get so, some of the commenters on the Facebook page speculated it might have been a bear, but this is a big time Bigfoot area. So most of the people said no, it's a Bigfoot. And this guy is a paranormal investigator and he knows what Bigfoot footprints look like. So, anyways, what do you think, John? You have a chance to look.
Yeah, Paul and Karen and audience, I think it's possible, of course, but again, it's just, it may not be. And that's why I'm skeptical, because it could be, but it may not be. So I'm skeptical on this footprint as well.
It's only a footprint. There's not a trail of footprints. So
right.
Does he disappear up into the air?
Maybe Bigfoot has wings and he was getting ready to take off.
Well,
running
then I might believe it.
Well, I think because just as Karen brought up this point, it's like there's too many questions associated with this. I mean, these hunters, these Bigfoot hunters. I mean, maybe they should re-strategize what they're doing, because I tell you what, there's nothing that I've seen that makes me believe that there is a Bigfoot. I mean, could be, maybe, too speculative for me. Sorry.
Yeah, John wants evidence. I agree with you, John. I agree with you. Like circumstantial evidence all the way through. We have the same UFO world as well. So it's people keep looking, and we keep reporting. So that's all we can do.
That's right, Paul. We're doing our best. All right.
Warning to the people up in the Adirondacks: don't bring in your kids and your pets, because there may be a Bigfoot roaming around. Okay, so here's something else that was roaming around in Chicago. This story was popular on my Facebook page. At an Aldi supermarket in Chicago, shoppers were stunned when a coyote showed up in the refrigerated food section of the store.
Wow.
they had animal control officers. Just picture the animal control guys had to come in. They remove the coyote from the refrigerator section, and they had to lecture the coyote that the only animals allowed in all these are kangaroos because they bring their own bags.
Where's the horn
Oh,
for that one? You got the
Oh,
horn for that one, Paul? Oh,
I
yeah,
rushed.
come on.
Oh no, that's my nose. That's not my horn. There we go. Kind of stuff. I got all kind of
All right,
ballpoint
there we go. We're having
falling
some
out of
fun
my
this afternoon.
So the
My.
coyote's okay. Everybody wanted to know, the coyote's okay. They didn't kill it. They relocated it.
Okay, good. That's good.
Some of the customers in the store accused the management of setting the whole thing up and saying that this was a wily promotion.
Oh my, very good, Paul. Very good.
So they got advice on how to chase the coyote out of the store from someone who is well known for chasing coyotes. He said to paint a fake door on the wall, and the coyote would see it and run into it and smash and get knocked out, and then they could carry him out. So we know who that came from. That came from John.
Would it be coming from the Roadrunner?
A Roadrunner, of course, everybody's favorite. One of the many Warner Brothers cartoons we used to like to watch.
Sure, sure.
So here's a trivia question for you and everybody out there. Does the Roadrunner say beep beep or meep meep?
wow, interesting.
That's a great question. And I'm going to take an educated guess because they have a 50-50 chance on this one. I'm going to say meep meep is what he says.
I think so too.
Karen says meep meep as well. Everybody out there, make your choice. So the Warner Brothers owns all the trademarks and all the sounds and everything for the cartoons. They said that the script, they accept both beep beep and meep meep as sounds of the Roadrunner. However, the original scripts, according to animation historian Michael Barrier, says that the spelling was Hameep Hameep. That's Hmeep, Hameep.
I would never know that.
I know. Or some of them, he said, were Mweep, Mweep. Neither one of them beep. So closer to meep than beep. So I think if you say meep, you're probably right. We'll give you that one. All right, another.
All right.
What car company made the Roadrunner?
Dodge.
Yes.
Dodge. Well, we'll accept that. It was actually Plymouth.
Chrysler. Always
Plymouth.
Plymouth.
Okay. All right.
1968 to 1980 muscle car. Boy, I remember seeing a lot of them on the road.
Oh, there were a lot of those out for sure. No doubt about it.
Boy, yeah. Okay. What cable internet service had provided Roadrunner? What company provided Roadrunner cable service? A lot of people had that Roadrunner emails and cable.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. That came from Time Warner. Time Warner provided.
Didn't know that. Didn't know. I couldn't tell you that. Wow. Okay.
Okay,
all right.
John.
Okay.
This is more up your alley. What city had a National Hockey League team named the Coyotes?
Oh,
I'll give you a hint. They're no longer in existence. They shut down here. They shut down here, and they're looking for another city to move to.
Yeah, I'm going to take a reach on this one. This is a real reach. Denver.
Guy, geographically close. The Arizona Phoenix Coyotes, or the Arizona Coyotes. I think they went by. They're looking to move to Utah. Oh, not bad. There you go. Okay, all right. So we talk about all the different services you get from What in the World, and one of them is job services. So John's a former placement officer, so this is right up his alley as well. So wait till you hear this, John. Planters is looking for 3 people to drive its peanut-shaped nutmobile. There's a picture of the nutmobile there. You can find it on the internet. Beautiful, beautiful vehicle. Looks like a giant peanut on 4 wheels.
Sure.
They need 3 people to drive it around the country for a year. Each one will earn $45,000 per year, plus a travel allowance, health benefits, and a 401k plan. They should come to Northeast Ohio because all the drivers up here are nuts. They'd be perfect for this.
My
Good,
husband,
very good, Paul. Very good. Yeah.
oh, Richard is applying for it right now. So I'm sure he's going to get the job.
Wow. That'd be like a fun job, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, it'll be one of three. This is not the same Nutmobile, John, by the way, as the Nutmobile that travels in between Pittsburgh and Cleveland for the Brown Steelers game. That's a
there's many nut vehicles that do that travel from Cleveland to Pittsburgh. I've been on those before as well. So yes.
Oh
yes.
yeah, there you go. So a lot of my friends were saying, how do we apply for this? And there's a link online. Some of them said, oh well, how does this compare to the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile? Turns out that this pays better than the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, which only pays $35,000 a year. There's a picture, which is a harder vehicle to drive, by the way. So that's based on like a bus chassis, if I'm not mistaken. So
that's what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you need the money, the Nutmobile is the way to go. Now, it turns out friends of the show always get in contact with me. I got a message from Sherry Lynn. So Sherry Lynn said that you should also look into the Cadbury cream egg car. Now this is a cute little thing.
It is cute.
A giant Cadbury egg, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that would be a fun vehicle to drive. I don't see a rear window though. I'm not sure how you quite can tell who's in behind you.
Yeah.
But trying to lick the rear of the car or whatever. Peel the foil
How do you
off.
get into the car?
I don't. It must be. We're looking at the passenger side, Karen.
Yeah.
So it must be on the driver's side. But yeah, there's no door on the passenger side. I really don't know.
Do you know what? Oh, I'm sorry, Paul. Do you know what country this is? Is this England or is this Australia?
I think this one is England. So then we would be looking at the driver's side. And I still don't have an answer to how you get in and out. But in the United States, specifically based in Hershey, Pennsylvania, is the Hershey Kissmobile.
Oh yes.
Cool. So this thing looks like a flatbed truck with 3 giant Hershey Kisses on it, and the front kiss is where the driver and passenger, I suppose, sit. And in the back ones, I guess they carry supplies of Hershey Kisses to throw out to people who come to visit the Kissmobile. I think that would be a fun vehicle to drive.
They're all good, I think, Paul. Karen,
yeah.
I'd be interested in any of those. Yeah.
There are 3 of these Hershey Kissmobiles. Also, up in the Northeast, you have the LL Bean Bootmobile, which is like a giant hiking boot. Well, very cool, I think. Very cool looking boot right there, parked in front of the LL Bean headquarters there on a snowy day. So I thought that looks about the size of an actual car, maybe a small van.
Small van, yeah.
Finally, my favorite, which is just in time for Easter, the Peeps.
Now then I could drive.
Which is a yellow, everybody knows what Peeps are, the little marshmallow candies from,
sure.
They're not long, but mostly at Easter time. A yellow Volkswagen Beetle. Karen used to drive one of these, the modern version of the Beetle. Do you still have it?
Nope.
No, you don't have it.
Traded in. Yep.
And then a giant Peep on the top. So that's my personal favorite right there. I'm a fan of it.
That's a showstopper for sure. That's a crowd pleaser. That car.
Yeah. So all kind of, if you're into driving promotional vehicles, check out some of those. You just Google them on the internet. Okay, different kind of promotion. We talked about this on Facebook as well. Progresso Soups has come out with soup drops. They are chicken noodle soup flavored hard candy that resembles a cough drop. They call it the soup you can suck on because it tastes like broth, vegetables, egg noodles, and a hint of parsley. My grocery store already is carrying them, and there's a big sign on the aisle that this is now a health clinic because you can pick up your cough drops in the soup aisle and the candy aisle, as well as in the cough drop section.
Wow, how about that?
You know, I can remember one time I was warming up a bowl of chicken soup and I left it in the microwave too long and it came out hard and it sucked. So
Oh,
kind of like these soup drops. For really bad coughs, John, Halls is working on a menthol version of these chicken soup drops. If you're interested in that, and Karen, I think they're also working on a kosher version. So
that'd be nice. Yes.
Oh my. Innovation.
Yeah, chicken soup cough drops, unbelievable. Okay, so this next story is going to have a lot of guys clenching their knees in fear of pain. Plastic surgeon in Taiwan shared a video on Facebook of him. This is a plastic surgeon giving himself a vasectomy.
Oh,
Awake? Yes, he is awake under local anesthesia, giving himself a vasectomy, and he put it as a present to his wife. The video went viral, so a lot of people thought it was cool. His wife, on the other hand, said about this present, "I hope you saved the gift certificate."
oh my. Wow.
Wow.
Know you're in trouble when you tell your wife you're gonna do a do-it-yourself vasectomy as a present, and she hands you a butcher knife.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh, I am
Who
cringing right now.
surgery on themselves, John? Who does things like this?
It boggles the mind, Paul and Karen and audience.
I can tell you one doctor that does not do this, and that is a proctologist.
Yeah.
That's
Impossible.
good. That's a good thing. I think that's a good thing.
Impossible. Wow. Okay, one more here. So this one comes from Turkey. Gozdi Dogan is the lady's name, from Turkey, set a Guinness World Record when she crushed, get ready, not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 watermelons in a 60-second time frame using only her thighs. She crushed watermelons between her thighs and managed to not only crush them, but get them out and put the next one in. 6, what did I say? 6 of them? 5 of them in 60 seconds. She got a certificate from Guinness. She got the leftover watermelons, and she got 1,000 marriage proposals.
Well,
she also got a call from a gynecologist with the name of a different gynecologist because he said, I'm not doing this anymore.
Well, on What in the World, who knows what you see and what you hear,
right.
what you hear about.
Gets
Wow,
invited to a lot of picnics too, I think. So,
oh my Lord,
this is like doing this is like an organic version of the Thigh Master. Remember the Thigh Master?
I guess that's the way of putting it, Paul. Wow.
That was everybody, back in the 80s, I think it was. It was one of those one body part exercise equipment devices. Although it was supposed to be just for your thighs, but supposedly you could use them to exercise your biceps. So put them on between your arm and your wrist, I guess, and your hamstrings. So you put them behind your knee. You do all those things. If you didn't know how to do those, Suzanne Summers had videos, and you could watch her. That's not the reason why any of us watched the videos. We watched.
Of course. You're brutally honest, Paul. Brutally honest.
My God, yes, that's right. So the Thigh Master was invented in Sweden. Go figure. By an intern who was studying to be a doctor, Anne Marie Benstrom. So it was invented by a woman, not a man. It was called the V-bar physical therapy device. It was not a sex toy. It was an actual health. So once it came to the United States, then it became a sex toy. Suzanne Summers, of course, made it famous and made tons and tons of money. She made much more money from the Thigh Master, she said, than she ever did from Three's Company, which is what we knew her by. And on that note, I think even with the technical difficulties, we have reached the end of my segment of What in the World, which means it's time for What in the World of Sports with John DiNallo. So every week, I ask my old buddy John, who knows more about sports than anybody else I know, I say, John, keep with the theme of our show, real sport, sometimes strange, always funny. That's what I need. And every week, John manages to come up with a sport. This week is no exception. John, fill us in on your sport for the week.
Oh, thanks, Paul, for the intro. So our sport this week has to do with patties, but not the burger kind, or the Patricia kind, or even the Irish kind. The sport is cow chip throwing, and it involves tossing dried cow patties for distance and for something to do at county fairs in between the pie eating contest and the greased pig races. Let me explain. One of the biggest cow chip contests is the Wisconsin State Cow Chip Throw and Festival, which is held annually on Labor Day weekend. The festival includes music, road races, a parade, and a variety of cow chip throwing competitions with actual divisions for men, women, kids, and corporations. Now, the first Wisconsin cow chip throwing tournament was held in 1975. The sport is now so big, in 1989, the Wisconsin state legislature proclaimed the cow chip the unofficial state muffin.
Oh,
Hard to believe, but that is true. Let
Wow.
me continue on. The competition is governed by the Wisconsin State Cow Chip Throw Committee. That's for you, Karen. Which makes sure everyone follows the official rules. So there's official rules for this sport. Number 1, 2 chips to each contestant. Chip thrown the farthest shall be the only one counted. If the chip breaks up in the throw, then the piece going the farthest will be counted. Second, chip chuckers in the men's and women's divisions must be at least 16 years of age. Number 3, chips must be at least 6 inches in diameter. No ifs, ands, or buts. Sorry, I had to say that. Sorry. Now, number 4, chip chuckers must select their chips from the wagon load provided by, get ready for this, the official Meadow Muffin Committee. To alter or shape in any way, chips selected from that grouping will result in a 25-foot penalty. Decision of the chip judge will be final.
Ooh.
Number 5, chip chuckers will be registered and numbered at the official registration table and must be turd alley ready when their number is called. Had to say that too. Sorry, folks. Now, number 6, when throwing, gloves will not be allowed.
Oh.
So you have to use your bare hand to be
yeah.
in the competition. Number 7, to get a better hold on your chip, you may lick your fingers before you throw. And it's good to know, folks, this is optional. Now,
Thanks.
let me offer. The men's record was set in 1991 when Greg Newmayer of Sauk Perry tossed the chip 248 feet. The women's record belongs to a gal, Terry Welscheliger, in 2005 of Oak Creek. She tossed one 157 feet and 5 inches.
Wow.
So Paul's got some very good pictures here for those of you watching, and those of you not watching can, I'm sure, visualize this. But cow chip tossing should be popular wherever cows are found, which is everywhere. If you want to try, the Wisconsin record holders won't reveal their secrets, but fans say that like KFC, their finger looking good.
Oh no. Oh,
So that sport, ladies and gentlemen, is a little bit beyond good taste, obviously, but it exists, and that's what we try to do here in What in the World is come up with these
Wow.
sports, and it's amazing that we can find these sports like this week to week, but they exist.
Wow.
oh, John, you're just too good.
I don't know, Karen. I was a little reticent in doing that in the first place, right? But then I thought, well, we need a little bit of humor here, so
Yes, we did.
this should get a rise out of everybody, pretty much.
Oh, the photos are unbelievable. You know, it did. Imagine a discus thrower throwing a cow chip.
Well,
That
yeah, and on top of it, how about the audience? Okay, this is not
oh,
like these people are doing. I mean, this is at a state fair, not a state fair, but
yeah.
a festival, right? So there's a
Oh,
lot of people there, right?
it's a festival devoted entirely to cow chip throwing.
That's exactly right. I mean, that just
Yeah.
shows you.
Wow.
So, okay,
Well, that's
so it is.
Wisconsin for you, I guess. So, you know,
Our apologies to people that are in Wisconsin.
oh, they're proud of it. They're obviously proud of it.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
you know, this is a wild sport. I thought I've never heard anything like this before. And then I started to think, John, well, you know, when we were in college, we did a lot of things, you know, because we were drinking a lot of beer. And the fraternity, I can remember one time when we were challenged by another fraternity to a cow chip throwing contest. Do you remember that?
No, honestly, I don't, Paul. You have to bring me to speed on this.
Fortunately, I have photos. The so you know, as always, the fraternity put John and myself, the two youngest guys, in charge of acquiring cow chips. And you know, we're in Cleveland, Ohio. We don't know where to find cow chips. So, but we found a cow. Um, so then we had to get some chips, which meant we had to feed the cow first. So we didn't know what cows ate. So I gave mine some pancakes because that's what I had. So that cow ate the cow really did eat the pancakes, and you know, they were flat, so I figured, well, that, you know, maybe that'll help shape the patty. John, however, you know, he didn't like that idea, so he gave the cow some spaghetti.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that cow, I remember John ate a whole plate full of spaghetti. So it was a big stack of pancakes, a whole plate full of spaghetti. And we got those cow patties and we dried them out and we took them to the competition. And that was the smartest thing we ever did, because those patties smelled so good that the other fraternity decided rather than throwing them, they were going to eat them. So here's a picture of one of the
Oh my gosh! Now I remember all this, Paul. You brought it all back.
eating. They were disqualified and we won. We didn't even have to throw any. We were by default. We won the competition.
We're pretty smart cookies, so to speak. I had to say that one too. I had to say that. Sorry, I had to say it.
Oh, great sport, John. Cow chip.
You're welcome, Paul. Yeah.
Thanks so much for that.
Wow.
So regular listeners know that means, believe it or not, it's time for Bluff the co-host, everybody's favorite weird news game. So the rules are simple. I have 3 stories here, similar to the stories we've been talking about all afternoon. One big difference: those were real. These may be real, may be a bluff. It's up to Karen, John, and those of you playing at home to decide. So listen carefully. Wagering is allowed. Place your bets. John and Karen, put your hands on the buzzer. Let's get going. A traditional margarita has a few simple ingredients: tequila, triple sec, lime juice, and a rim of salt. However, a world record margarita needs one more thing: an ice rink. A minor league hockey team in Minnesota wanted to set that record by turning their rink into a 200-foot by 85-foot margarita. They couldn't afford to fill it with tequila, so they made it a very weak margarita by pouring 1 bottle each of tequila, triple sec, and lime juice on the ice. They didn't skimp on the salt, however. They surrounded the rink with a thick ring of road salt. That was their big mistake. The salt melted the ice so fast, they didn't even get the record for the world's largest margarita slushie. They hope to try again next year with something easier, like the world's largest frozen scotch and water. Okay. hockey team in what was that, Minnesota, create the world's largest margarita on their ice rink, frozen margarita. Unfortunately, the ice melted from the salt they put around the end. Real or bluff? Karen, we'll start with you.
You know, it's so weird that I think it could be real. So I'm going to say real.
So what did you say? Your screen froze up.
Oh, I thought you froze up.
No,
I say real.
it's real. So Karen says it's real. John, how about you?
You know, part of me says that could have happened. Seeing how all these strange people do strange things, but I'm going to say it's not real. I'm just saying no. I'm going to say it's a bluff. I'm going to just leave it at that. Say it's a bluff.
I apologize to all the hockey players out there for John calling them strange people.
Yeah, no offense. No offense.
No offense. Okay, no offense.
No
Taken.
offense.
All right. So John says that's a bluff. Karen says that's a real story. We check with the judges. The judges say, congratulations go to John for the first one. That is a bluff. So John's doing good. All right. So scores 1-0. Let's get right to story number 2. The citizens of Hawaii are proud of their pineapples and eat them with everything. So they get upset when they come to the mainland and find out that so many people hate pineapple as a pizza topping. A pineapple farmer in Maui hoping to change that by genetically altering a strain of pineapples to make them taste like pepperoni. He's calling them pineapple-roni. And taste testers in Hawaii are surprised at how close they taste to pepperoni, despite looking like a regular pineapple. Taste testers on the mainland agree, but told him people still won't like it on their pizza unless it looks more like pepperoni. So he's working on a strain with a reddish-orange color. If all goes well, look for pineapple-roni pizza at a parlor near you in 2026. Okay, so John, we'll start with you. A pineapple farmer trying to grow pepperoni flavored pineapple for people who hate pineapple on their pizza. Real or bluff?
You know, I'm going to go on a limb with this one. I'm going to say it's real. I mean, it's so strange. This is in the category again of being so strange that I could find somebody that would be interested in doing this, just for the purpose of it, I gather. I mean, so I'm going to say it's real. I'm going to say it's a real story.
Okay, that sounds like something you could get at the West Side Market. Pepperoni flavored pineapple.
You know, I got to look for it in your grocer's.
Yeah.
in
Okay.
your grocer's case. Yeah.
Wait. All right. So John says that's a real story. Karen, how about you?
I'm going to say it's a bluff. I just don't even want to think about it being real.
Don't want to think about it. Okay. Wow. Okay. So Karen says it's a bluff. John says it's real. We'll check with the judges, and the judges say, congratulations go to Karen this time. Yeah. That is definitely a bluff.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, Karen, very good. Now we're tied. Very good. Very good.
Well, that means the score's tied, and points are double in round number 3, but that doesn't matter. You know, whoever gets it right, somebody's going to be a winner. If it's a tie, everybody's a winner. So let's get right to story 3. A table tennis fanatic in Japan was eating donut holes covered in powdered sugar when he realized that they were the same color, shape, and weight as ping pong balls. He talked to the baker about this, and a few months later, they unveiled edible ping pong, a new game that is catching on at bars, bakeries, and birthday parties around the country. The gingerbread paddles are regulation size and weight with gritty icing for color, and they hold up through one regulation ping pong match. The donut hole balls are another matter, so the instructions recommend freezing them overnight so they last through a game. The bakery is talking to a major donut chain about serving edible ping pong balls and paddles in the United States soon. Okay, so the baker in Japan who invented edible ping pong paddles and balls for playing at parties. Real or bluff? Karen, we'll go back to you.
Well, I think ping pong is really popular in China. I don't know if it's popular in Japan. And it just sounds so absurd that I'm hoping it's It's a bluff.
Okay. Karen, we have Karen logic there. Karen's logic says it's a bluff. John logic says what?
Well, I'm going to say Karen's got a good point about Japan, but we also know that Japan is a hotbed of strange and weird food. So, with that thinking in mind, I'm going to say it's a real story.
There you go. Yeah, you're right, John. We've had plenty of stories about weird food from Japan.
Yes.
So John says that edible ping pong paddles and balls are real. Karen says it's a bluff. Let's check with the judges. Wow. The judges say, congratulations this week go to Karen. That is a bluff.
Wow.
Karen, way to go.
Thank
Karen,
you.
very
Thank
good
you.
now. Okay, very good, very good.
I'm going to congratulations go to Karen. I'm hungry now after talking about that. So John, John's down there in Tampa, hoping to go lay down on the beach, but it's cold, so he's going to stay indoors and study for next week's Bluff the co-host.
Yes.
I already queued Annette to that fact that I got off and running with the first week, I think, this year that I was successful. So law of averages would say I wouldn't be successful this week, which is the truth, obviously. So flashcards are going to be looked at this week for sure, and we'll be back next week on Tuesday, hopefully, and I'll be able to compete again
next week. So we will be back next week on What in the World on newclevelandradio.net. That's a Karen platform. Karen will be here, and I want to thank her and all the things that she does for us at What in the World, everything she does for all the podcasts at newclevelandradio.net. Please check them out. If you need a coach, Yes I Can Coaching with Karen, same website, different link, check it out. And then I want to thank my old buddy John DiNallo, great sport, great commentary this week as always. Enjoy your stay down in Tampa. Let's see, we have a football playoff game coming up, 2 games coming up this weekend. So
right,
yeah.
I'll be checking those out for sure. And really, the 4 teams left in the NFL, in my opinion, arguably the 4 best teams. So hopefully there's 2 good games, and then hopefully we'll have 2 participants in the Super Bowl coming up, and take it from there.
That's right. That's right. Okay. And then as always, I want to thank everybody out there for listening. You're the reason why we do this show every week. We hope you have as much fun listening as we do putting it on. Again, thank you to all the people who send us photos, send us cards, letters, souvenirs, whatever. We love it. It's a great way for us to know that you're listening and that you appreciate our humor. You appreciate being able to listen to fun news instead of all the other stuff that's going on out there. So again, that's the reason why we do the show. We keep coming back week after week. Karen says we've been on for 7 years. How about that? That's pretty great. So
yeah, it is great.
Thank you to that's right, John. Thank you to everybody out there. And on that note, Karen, I think we are on our way out the door. Okay, we'll see you next week.